What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome into Ion Market. We're not going to waste any time today. We got a lot to talk about, and with the Legendary Duelist Synchro Storm set releasing this week and then Burst of Destiny releasing next week, there's obviously a lot of excitement. We're going to see a lot of shifting on the market, but some of the things that have been moving are really surprising, as you might see by the opener here with Aleister the Invoker. So we'll get into all of that, and just want to ask you guys, if you do enjoy these videos, please hit the like button and subscribe if you're not subscribed already. We do giveaways, we do contests, we do live stream openings and stuff, so try to really have some variety here on the channel, but more than anything else, we're here to talk Yu-Gi-Oh, and that's what we're going to do. So let's jump into the video, starting with Aleister the Invoker. The cheapest near mint first set is around $10, and the quantities are drastically lower than they have been in the past at 41 copies. It looks like there's some copies available right around 10, but taking a look at the sales history, this is a very recent buyout. This has been, selling a ton between the 20th and the 25th, with, just as you can see, a large handful of copies selling. But even before that, the price, even going into early last week, started to move from around $7 up to $12. I don't know what the reasoning is, other than the fact that, whenever there is a new format, the Invoked stuff seems to get attention. It goes up, people want to play Aleister, and the Secret Rare is much nicer than the Super, in my opinion. But the Super is, a couple bucks and relatively low in quantity as well. And if we just do a little bit of live editing here as we go along, I believe Aleister's alternate art from Gold Series is pretty, not expensive, but, up a little bit in terms of where it's at, with people looking to chase that down. I'm just not a fan of this alt art at all personally, but I would say your best bet would be to probably go for the Supers if you anticipate them long term, for the Secrets if you anticipate them long term, or the Supers if not. Church of Despia is one of the ones that is worth talking about. I think we've talked about it quite a bit, but the Despia stuff is coming out in Burst of Destiny, and it's right around the corner. The sales rate on this card has been absolutely nuts, with so many copies going off the market, to the point where it's up to about 6. It had hit 4-ish for a bit, and now is back up. This is, in my opinion, one of the best Despia cards. I think it's actually better than Aluber in some cases because of its kind of ability to be utilized outside of just the straight Despia package. It's just a really useful card that I think will come up a lot over time, and the combos with things like Shadal Schism are, insane. But I would say get this sooner rather than later, because I do expect this price to continue to go up as Despia gets more support, as Burst of Destiny is, prominent on the market. Dawn of Majesty is a few months out. The sales rates on this are high, but there are going to be people that are trying to chase it down after the fact. Decent amount of copies, so you might be able to wait a little, but you can tell that the price is trending upwards, so I would just make sure you have it if you intend to play it. Signet Mining Super Rare from the Megatins has been going up for a while. That's not really a surprise. I just thought it was interesting how low the quantities are, and really low quantities for Signet Mining across the board. Secret Rare is obviously the highest rarity, and truth be told, the Secret Rare is pretty close in price to the others. Your best bet is to get the Secrets, because they do hold value better than anything else. Near mint first eds are $13 for the Secret Rare, give or take, and they're around $10 for the Ultra. Spend the extra $3 or $9 for a playset to make sure that you're getting something you're able to recoup your losses on later if you decide you want to move it. Anaconda, just craziness at 75 with only 27 listings. People are getting ready for the Destiny Hero. Phoenix Enforcer, not really much to talk about there. I just wanted to at least mention that this is just going, through the moon there. Artifact Dagda is up quite a bit, about $7. I'm not really sure why. I know there's some builds that I've heard about that have been playing it. It's not something I've had a chance to look into all that much, but this is how to Dual Overload, a set that just continues to be value time after time with cards, and we've even got a few other Dual Overload cards we're going to touch on today. So if you have this, it's definitely a good value. It has been going up steadily for a while, and it's a decent link, just, not a bad card at all. Artifacts, combo with Scythe, Sanctum, etc. That whole package finds its way in and out of the meta, so it's good to keep an eye on. Almirage for Dual Overload is up to about $3 to $4, which is crazy. I had a stack of these at one point for Dual Overload. You can just see the amount of sales just today covers the entire available amount of the page and keeps going. I mean, this has been flying off the market. This is all sales from yesterday and today at the time I'm making this video, so it's definitely something in demand. People are chasing it down. Almirage is really good and is obviously one of the better link ones that most decks have access to. It's used to enable combos. Just still relatively cheap if you want to try and grab it. This gentleman here, this seller, every time I try to buy from them, it says they're offline, so I don't know whether or not you're going to be able to get it that cheap, but there are some pretty close to it. The Heijun the Wing Mayakashi is one I wanted to point out, only because we know there's Mayakashi support coming out in the OCG, in that special box it's set with the Sky Strikers. I don't know whether or not it's actually going to be good support, it would have to be pretty good to make the deck really viable, but this is the one that grabs directly from the deck. It's a really good card, and to be honest with you, I actually did pick up a playset myself. Just looking at, listings, the fact that Hidden Summoners as a whole has been just a lackluster set, and if Mayakashi does get support, this is probably the best piece that they have that will allow some of those combos to go forward. So just wanted to throw that one out there. If you are on the Mayakashi train, so to speak, Yuki Musume Super Rare from the Savage Strike Special Edition. This is just a really good card that can basically special summon itself, then mill a zombie. It's really, really useful within the deck. Obviously, your combos with Mizuki and things like that. But overall, it's just a really good, versatile card, and it's super cheap. So if you were looking at Mayakashi for potential things that could go up, I think this is one you might want to keep an eye on. High Speed Red Rubber Band Shooter is a really good card that gives Speedroids an extra normal summon and does work in other decks as well. We know this is not getting reprinted in the Legendary Duelist set, and you can see that people have been buying them. I got mine a while back when they got bought out the first time. I paid a little bit more. I still think this card could end up being value, though, just considering the set that it's from, but I wouldn't buy it with the hope of making a significant return. I would just get it so that if you do want to play the deck, you have it at a cheaper price. Speaking of cheaper price, Crossout Designator has continued to tank over the past couple weeks. I think it's a decent card. Definitely don't think it's as good as everyone said it was going to be here. It's a good move for the tin. It definitely helped push product, and if it starts to see more play, you could see the price go back up. But we have tins continuing to be waived, to be released. There's just so much, to think about, and the card itself does have a certain style to it that a lot of people aren't going to like, and it requires you to play bricks. So there are arguments against it, and whether or not it's as good here as it is in the TCG. As it is in the OCG where they have Max C and whatnot. But Crossout Designator is dropping. Invocation just really low on quantities. $40 at the cheapest for the Super Rare. Short print, so I get that, but you're paying 40 on this versus 43 on the Battles of Legend. I would go the Battles of Legend 10 out of 10 times. You're just looking at a better return on your investment over time. But honestly, Konami, I really need us to reprint Invocation here. We need to get this more accessible. Maybe make it a common or an ultra. Don't short print it. Just make it such that everybody has a chance to get access to it, because it's been way too expensive for too long. And I don't really see how much more you're really going to milk out of that engine. Bingo Machine Go from Legendary Duelist continues to go up. Someone's got a decent sale here, around $15 if you want to snag that. But they go 20 plus pretty quick. And this is a really, really good card. You can see tons of copies have sold, gone off the market. Legendary Duelist Season 2 as a whole just continues to do really well for itself. Galaxy Soldier, another card we talked about where the Cyber Structure deck came out. It wasn't in it, unfortunately, and when that happens, value displacement causes people to look elsewhere to put their money. This is a $25 card now, and all versions of it are expensive. Secret Rares are $30, and the others are $20, $25, with just barely any listings. I couldn't even find any at locals. Nobody had any. I've been trying to pick some up myself. I don't really want to pay that price. I'm kind of hopeful this could get slotted in Maximum Gold or something. Alpha the Master of Beast, just a quick note, has been going up a little, but also just selling quite a bit. I do think this is a really good card that's an excellent side option for certain decks, and just worth considering. I mean, it's a decent quote-unquote hand trap side option, if you will. I know it's not really a hand trap, but in terms of having that utility that a lot of hand traps do, people like this card, and it's pretty cheap, so I could see it going up in the future once the tins are sort of out of print. But grab it now for $2.50 and you don't have to worry about it. Urgent Schedule is up to $15, starting to go crazy towards its, it's almost beating the original print. People love this deck. It hasn't done much, but I know in general, train support, especially a card as good as Urgent Schedule is just going to be a card people go after, and the secrets do look a lot better. I think the secret will eventually surpass the ultra rare here, especially just because you can see how close it is already. Aluber, we mentioned the Despia stuff earlier, so I just wanted to touch on him again quickly. Aluber will likely continue to sell as Despia starts to get ground. I think once the deck actually takes off and does something, you could see this card's price jolt upwards significantly. So if you do have interest in it, consider whether or not grabbing it around 28 to 35 is worth it for you. It's fluctuated a bit, but it is a really good card that is going to be central in most Despia packages. Mask of Restrict, just with Fluanderies coming out, this is a somewhat viable option, and I've noticed that it's relatively low in quantities. The commons are cheap, so it shouldn't cost too much to grab some, but a lot of these are, damaged, so, if you're looking to get, good quality ones, if you want commons, you can get the Zombie Horde ones, which are really cheap, but we've seen cards like this go up when they start to see meta play, and if Fluanderies takes off and people start to side this, then you can absolutely see this going up. So I would say make sure you have Mask of Restrict, just in case something catches your eye. Needle Fiber, Halki Fibrax is up to, $50 for whatever reason. Someone's trying to make a sale here, 45, not bad. It's a good card. I don't know what the reason is for the spike. His value seems to fluctuate, and again, Dual Overload as a whole just continues to produce dividends for people that bought in on that set when it came out. I mean, I don't know. If you have multiple Halks, I'd probably say sell off your extras, make some extra profit, because I don't see a scenario where it goes too much higher, but I could be wrong and have been before. Just worth noting, the ulti has gone up a ton, which I did mention on the market previously, about $1.15 to $1.20, and this was like 75.80 about a month ago. So just be aware of it. Like, people are starting to look at it and say this is cheaper than it should be, which is a silly thing to say, but that's the way the market goes. And Dogmatica Punishment as a secret rare from the Megatins is a beautiful card, one of my favorites. Just noticeable that it does have a lot less listings than some of the other cards from the Megatins that are in the 200s. You can see this card has been selling a ton, and it's a card people are typically picking up in playsets. I just think this will slightly creep up and sort of move its way up towards the mid-level of the set, because it is a really good card that is generically useful in a lot of decks and looks awesome as a secret rare. So that's going to do it for today's Ion Market. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. If you did enjoy, please hit the like button and subscribe. Let me know down below what you think about the market. Are you excited about Legendary Duelists and Burst of Destiny? And Halloween's coming up this week, so we got a special video on Friday that's going to be related to the holiday, Yu-Gi-Oh related, so check back for that if you guys are around. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.